True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's October 2nd, 2016. The Week 4 Sunday games are about to kick off for the NFL season. Real quick, let's review what happened in Week 3. I know the Eagles and Steelers fans really want to know what happened in their game. We'll talk about that, plus all the other games this week. The first game of Week 3 was the Texans visiting the Patriots. I put out a preview for this saying why the Patriots should win. I showed that the game was a Saturn ritual. The Texans came in with 226 games played as a franchise. Bill Belichick was going for his 226th career win, exactly 22 weeks and 6 days after his birthday. The number 226 is a number that often gets paired with 93. The New England Patriots were starting a rookie quarterback for the first time since 1993. In 93, it was Drew Bledsoe. This past game, it was Jacoby Brissett. The Patriots ended up winning the game as underdogs, even at home because they had a third stringer, 27-0. When you write out 27, it sums to 46. When you write out Patriots, it sums to 46. No doubt that was the tribute in the 27-0 score. Again, the numbers 226 and 93 are often paired together. This past week, Thursday Night Football, which already happened, the Bengals defeating the Dolphins. Andy Dalton's full name equals 226. The game was played on the day that leaves 93 days left in the year. As I said before that game, Bengals should win. They did. When you spot these combinations such as 226 and 93, you can know that that's favorable for the team that it syncs with, for those of you learning how to decode. Again, the name Brissett equals 112. The name Houston equals 112. Jacoby Brissett getting his first start against Houston. The name Drew Bledsoe equals 112. The last QB to start as a rookie for the Patriots. Your NFL is scripted to the point, to the stat line, to the hash mark. Look at how Brissett had a net 97 passing yards in the 97th season of the NFL. Bill Belichick equals 97, 97th season. So also in the AFC East, the Bills defeated the Cardinals from the NFC West. First win of the season for the Bills and Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan got his 55th career win all time. His entire coaching record is with the AFC East with the Jets and the Bills. Both Jets and Bills equals 54. He was stuck on 54 wins for a while. Notice they won with 33 points, the Bills, defeating the team from the 33rd parallel, the Arizona Cardinals. 33, that number of Freemason fixation, the National Football League, once upon a time invented by Freemasons. Tyrod Taylor in the win had 119 passing yards. Remember, New York, Arizona, the only two states with 39 gematria. Big numbers in each state respectively. New York, Arizona, the World Series after September 11th, 11/9, 119. Raiders and Titans, I did a preview for this on my blog. I said why the Raiders should win this game. A lot lined up for Derek Carr, and Marcus Mariota's stats were also very interesting going into the game. The game prior to this, the game prior to the one played in Week 3, the Raiders had also defeated the Titans 24-21, a sum of 45 points. This was going to be the 45th matchup between both teams. On my blog, I wrote about why the Raiders should win this game. They won it 17-10. Browns at Dolphins. Dolphins won. This was the same day as the news of the death of Jose Fernandez, the Florida Marlins pitcher, the Miami Marlins pitcher, in the same city as the Dolphins. Baseball equals 54. The game summed to 54 points. Remember, the name Fernandez equals 93. This year, the baseball season began on April 3rd, typically the 93rd day of the year. He also had that 226 connection, put out a couple videos on his death. The word sun, like sun in the sky, equals 54. We often find 54 paired with 93 as well, which is why Fernandez was likely the ritual sacrifice for the upcoming World Series. If you missed my videos on his death was not an accident and it was not a coincidence. If he truly died, he was ritually sacrificed. This goes on all the time in these pro sports leagues. This is all part of what I'm exposing. The games are rigged and scripted. There's ritual sacrifice. People are giving their money to tyrants. These are the things to understand. You don't want to be a pro sports fan. It was also a date with 43 numerology. Dolphins got the 43 gematria. They won on this day. Ravens defeated the Jaguars. Pretty much anytime the Jaguars are playing, you can bet on the other team. Jaguars, one of those laughingstock teams, haven't been good since they first came into the league, pretty much. With the Ravens win, they became 11-9 against the Jaguars. More competitive than you would think, especially in light of what I just said about the Jaguars. In their earlier years, they had some successful teams, but the Jaguars have been one of the worst teams in the NFL for going on several seasons now. What I noticed about this game is there was alignment with the coach and quarterback from the day of the game to Joe Flacco's birthday, 113 days. John Harbaugh in Gematria sums to 113, 113, one of these special numbers to the Freemasons. Whenever you see this alignment between the coach and quarterback, it seems to be another one of those locks for who's going to win the game. Every time this year I've documented in a video or a blog post where there's the perfect synchronicity between the coach and quarterback, that team has won. You got to know what numbers to look for to spot these things. And just one more thing I meant to mention up at the top. Or maybe I didn't write it up at the top. I thought I did. Anyhow, these games that were played last Sunday, September 25th, they were played on the date that leaves 97 days left in the year. 97 days left in the year. Again, this is the 97th season of the NFL. Special number this year. Packers-Lions. This game ended in a sum of 61 points. Detroit Lions equals 61 in Gematria. You might recall last year, the Packers won in Detroit with a 61-yard touchdown pass. Remember this? I documented what happened in the Packers and Lions season with that number 61. It shows up a lot because Detroit Lions equals 61. Go back and watch my videos from last year. There's a whole lot more to it. Notice that Matthew Stafford had 41 attempts. Green Bay equals 41. Falling to Green Bay in the scripted game. Broncos with Trevor Siemian improved to 3-0 in Cincinnati. I think this game probably surprised a lot of people. People thought the Bengals would play better. I noticed that Marvin Lewis and John Harbaugh both have the same September 23rd birthday, which is New Year's Day on the French Republican calendar, an important date to the gang of Masons who run the NFL. Interesting that these division rivals, the coaches, have that same birthday. Marvin Lewis also came into this game with 113 wins, and he stuck there, Good news for the Ravens anytime the Bengals lose. I think there's something up with that. Marvin Lewis being stuck on 113 wins on the day that's 113 days before Joe Flacco's birthday. Harbaugh equals 113. This game also came 41 days after Gary Kubiak's birthday. Remember the Week 1 game against the Panthers summed to 41 points, a rematch of the Super Bowl 41. As predicted, I said the Broncos would win that game over the Panthers. And also, with regards to the sum of 46 points, I think this might have been part of the Super Bowl tribute. Last year, the 49ers hosted Super Bowl 50 in Levi's Stadium. It was Super Bowl 50, but the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. The 49ers hosted. The 49ers have defeated the Bengals in 2 Super Bowls. You see how they line up all these riddles? Remember, the Broncos lost to the 49ers in Super Bowl 24, 55-10. And then last year, the Broncos were 55 years old. John Elway was 55 years old. And they won the Super Bowl in the 49ers Stadium with 24 points. When you write out 24, it sums to 50, just like San Francisco. So the Vikings, who I said will likely be in the NFC Championship game this year against the Giants, that's what I've been saying since February. The Vikings went into Carolina and defeated the defending NFC champions 22-10. Probably surprised a lot of people. Look at these stat lines. It just goes to show you how ridiculous the NFL is. Sam Bradford had 153 net passing yards, and Minnesota as a team had 58 rushing yards. You cannot win in the NFL with stats like that. You cannot win with stats like that. Somehow Minnesota won on the road in Carolina. It's because this league is scripted. It is a joke. You cannot win with that low of offense. Only in the rigged NFL. In that game, the Minnesota Vikings came in 7-5, and they emerged 8-5 against the Panthers. Carolina Panthers equals 75. So does Minnesota Vikings, which I meant to write up here. National Football League equals 85. And I think them defeating the Panthers in week 3 is favorable to their season ahead. Also important, 3, the number one written out, sums to 56. Sam Bradford equals 56. The day he came to Minnesota, the 5.6 earthquake in Oklahoma where he played his college ball, Oklahoma got upset with a score summing to 56. Big Sam Bradford ritual in effect. Week 3 over the Panthers. The Giants also lost at home to the Redskins. Here's why they lost. They lost because the season is scripted and the Giants are going to defeat the Redskins in their stadium in Week 17, January 1st, 2017, the final game of the regular season. Notice the sum of this game was 56 points. The Redskins won with 29. Football equals 29. Ohio equals 29. The birthplace of football, Thursday night football in Ohio, just ended with a sum of 29 points. Anyway, again, 3 equals 56. I think the Giants being 2-1 is a tribute to New York City. This game was lost in New York. 2-1's a lot like 21. When you write out 21, it sums to 42 like NYC. Giants won Super Bowl 42. The Giants came into this game with 97 regular season wins against the Redskins, just like Eli Manning began the season with 97 career wins for the 97th season of the NFL. The next time the Redskins and Giants play, it'll be the 168th game all-time between both teams. New York City equals 168. And I suspect Eli Manning gets his 98th win. Eli Manning equals 98. That game will be on a date with 39 numerology, New York 39. A lot of things line up for the next New York Redskins game in Washington. I suspect the Giants win that on the way to the playoffs. As I've been saying since February, I expect the NFC Championship to be Giants and Vikings. Another game, Rams and Bucks. The Rams won on the road with 37 points. Los Angeles 37. You know, they returned to the Coliseum, which equals 97 for the 97th season. Winning with 37, winning by the numbers. NFL scripted to the point, can't say it enough. Jeff Fisher, coach of the Rams, also has that 56 gematria in week 3. Game came 153 days prior to his birthday, 153, big number for the Freemasons, often paired with 42, the number of Freemason significance. Seahawks defeated the 49ers 37-18, sum of 55 points. 49ers this way in gematria, where you add the numbers with the letters converted, sums to 55. Again, 55 was a big part of the riddle last year with the Broncos Super Bowl and Super Bowl 24. So anyway, Seahawks over 49ers, sum of 55 points. Again, this game was on a date with 43 numerology. Seattle Seahawks equals 43. They've only won one Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 48 over the Broncos. The Seahawks won with 43 points. Every Super Bowl scripted to the point. That's why the game began with the safety at the 12th second when Seattle has the 12th man. It's why they were in Super Bowl 48, 4 plus 8, 12. The 49ers, they also have the parallel to Washington State, where Seattle's from. Washington equals 49. 49ers. Revelation equals 49 the small way, 121 the big way. The new 49ers stadium's on the 121st meridian. The Broncos went to the White House 121 days after the Super Bowl in Washington, 49. The abbreviation for gold is AU. A's the first letter, U's the 21st. The 49ers, named after the gold rush, playing on the 121st meridian, 121 AU. Russell Wilson had 10.6 yards passing average. The leading rusher Christian Michael, had 106 yards. 106, the number of prophecy. The name Russell equals 106. Revelation, the book of prophecy, might have been part of the tribute in this scripted game. Pete Carroll also this week, interesting, he'll be traveling to the Jets, the first team he coached for, playing for his 96th career win, his 63rd with the Seahawks. When you sum 1 through 63, it sums to 2016. That's this week's game, week 4. Pete Carroll going to play his old team, the Jets. Jets and Chiefs, this was an interesting game. Andy Reid got his 33rd career win with the Chiefs, winning with 24 points with his quarterback, Alex Smith. And Andy Reid has the Mormon connections. Alex Smith played his college ball in Utah, the Mormon state. 33 years was the distance from the death of Brigham Young to the death of Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith, who founded the Mormon Church. Alex Smith playing his college ball in Utah. Check this out. Coming into the game, both teams were 17-1. Chiefs won, taking the lead with 24 points. When you write out 24, it sums to 50. Just like when you write out Chiefs, it sums to 50. Just like San Francisco equals 50. Alex Smith came from San Francisco. In the game, Alex Smith had 33 attempts, helping Andy Reid get his 33rd win. Notice that he had net 221 yards, and Ryan Fitzpatrick had net 188 yards. The Bavarian Illuminati, which is Freemasonry, which is obsessed with 33, Bavarian Illuminati alone sums to 188. The Bavarian Illuminati sums to 221. Their passing yards, the Freemason network. Andy Reid, this was his 51st game with Kansas City, his 33rd win. And the Bavarian Illuminati was established on May 1st, 5/1, on the 121st day of the year. Number of Revelation, the Freemasons' code from the Book of Prophecy. So the one game that I guaranteed one game would be won last week. I didn't do much decoding, but I said I guarantee you the Colts defeat the Chargers next week, making the Colts 1-2. Andrew Luck's been here many times. 1-2 is a lot like 12. Andrew Luck wears the number 12. The Colts getting their first win against the Chargers also makes me think about the Mannings and the orchestrated NFL by the numbers. Remember, Peyton Manning used to play for the Colts. He was shipped to the Broncos when the Colts drafted Andrew Luck, number 1 overall out of Stanford. The Colts once drafted John Elway, number 1 overall out of Stanford, and traded him to the Broncos. Anyhow, Peyton Manning, when he was on the Colts, his little brother Eli Manning was drafted into the NFL by the San Diego Chargers, but his father, Archie Manning, would not allow him to play for the Chargers, so he was traded to the New York Giants. Anyhow, Colts, Chargers, perhaps this win will be the one that sparks the season for the Colts and the scripted narrative that is. The Colts also got their 26th win all-time against the Chargers with 26 points, the God number, the number that represents the shape of the football, the mandorla, the vesica Piscis. Here's that NFL draft, 2004. San Diego took Eli Manning. The Giants took Phillip Rivers. They ended up swapping. Colts got their 26th, or excuse me. They won with 26 points in the 26th game all-time between these two teams. Notice that the Colts got their 16th win in 2016. It was also Andrew Luck's 58th career game. Currently has a 58% completion percentage. 58 years ago was the greatest game ever played between the Colts and the Giants. In February, I suspected that that's what the Super Bowl would be. Still could be. Colts and Giants. It won't surprise me at all. The Colts can get into the playoffs this year probably with an 8-8 or 9-7 playoff record. And like the Packers years ago that were all beat up, their whole secondary injured, they might surprise everybody. This narrative has happened before. Andrew Luck, touted as someone like Aaron Rodgers. Andrew Luck, the most hyped quarterback ever coming out of college, truly. Notice that Luck had 37 attempts. 37 is the 12th prime. All year, 37 and 12, coded with Andrew Luck. Phillip Rivers had 39 attempts in the game. The game was in Indianapolis on the 39th parallel. Andrew Luck has the 39 birth numerology. Another special number to the game. Another quarterback with that 39 birth numerology is Russell Wilson. Last year on his birthday, they defeated the Steelers with 39 points. Nobody guarded Doug Baldwin on the final touchdown of the game. So here's another one, Steelers and Eagles. Eagles blew out the Steelers in their stadium, surprised a lot of people. What stood out to me right away was the sum of 37 points. Last week I showed how Carson Wentz has the Revelation 3-7 coding with him. 3-7, 37. Philadelphia, named from the book of Revelation, the final book of the Bible, the 66th book. NFL in Jewish gematria equals 66. The first Super Bowl in the 66th season. Christianity, sun worship on Sunday. Football on Sunday. The Freemasons, they run the show, and they run the world like a big mocking, giving people rigged football that they know they worship and can't see through, giving them fake religions that they wrote in books and they know the people can't see through, coding it all by the same numbers, mocking people every day the same way. Anyhow, Steelers go down 3-34. Here's why. It's 2016. This game came 96 days before Carson Wentz's birthday. Freemason 96, 1696. Philadelphia Eagles has gematria of 96. 96 days before the birthday of the new rookie quarterback who was drafted from North Dakota, the 39th state. Philadelphia on the 39th parallel. Revelation based on the 39 books of the Old Testament. Revelation equals 49, Eagles 49. Chip Kelly just got sent to the 49ers where he coached his 49th game to start the season of the 49ers in the NFL. It's all a big joke. When you know what the numbers mean, you see through what's going on. How many Eagles fans thought it was a coincidence that Chip Kelly got sent to the 49ers to coach his 49th regular season game? You got to be a fool. It's also 13 weeks and 5 days from the game to Carson Wentz's birthday. If you watched my video on what I showed about the Chicago Bears, the key of David equals 135. Carson Wentz is the key of David to the Freemasons and the way they've riddled him into the NFL. Carson Wentz might own Pittsburgh in the time he's with the team. Carson Wentz, Pittsburgh, got that gematria. Carson Wentz will be turning 24 at the end of the season, just before their final game. Eagles might very well make it to the playoffs. I don't think they'll go further than the Giants, though, this year. However, 39 is the big number on the Super Bowl, and that typically goes in the way of New York. But the Eagles were in Super Bowl 39. Eagles, again, from the 39th parallel. Revelation, where Philadelphia gets its name based on the 39 books of the Old Testament. Look at the all-time record. This was the 78th game in the regular season between both teams. 79th if you count the playoffs. 78th, the reflection of 87. Philadelphia Eagles also has that gematria of 87. But anyway, look at this. The Eagles won their 47th game. The Eagles are 47-28-3 in the regular season against the Steelers. That's a pretty, solid win-to-loss ratio. The Eagles dominate the Steelers historically. I wasn't aware of that until I looked at that this week. But 47 is that special number, the first Super Bowl in the 47th season of the NFL. Super Bowl 47 had the 33-minute blackout. This is the year of Super Bowl 51, the 47th of the modern era. Christian equals 47, Foundation 47, Framework 47, Authority 47, Euclid's 47th problem for the Freemasons how to build. This game also came a span of 239 days after the rookie head coach's birthday. The flag was sewn in Philadelphia at 239 Arch Street. This year the flag's 239 years old. The NFL having all this national anthem, flag, protest, what have you, by the numbers. All part of the scripted narrative. All these players that you hear about, Colin Kaepernick, they're all paid for frauds. They just do what they're told. Lose the game, win the game, fumble the ball, throw the interception, don't salute the flag. Any of you who are celebrating these players, looking up to these players, you are looking up to the biggest fucking losers on the history of the earth. People who take money to sell out their fans. And in America, most people think that's probably great and they would do that too, but that's because this is a nation of worthless fucking losers. Men who think all they can do with their life is watch rigged sports, rigged football, don't care about anything else. Celebrate the biggest assholes amongst us, give all their time and money and energy to people who don't give a fuck about them, people who play in rigged sports. It's pathetic. So another game, Bears-Cowboys. This one was really good. Dallas Cowboys won. Again, this was a date with 43 numerology. And look at this. I told everyone on my blog that the Cowboys were going to win this game. It was so clear. But a lot of people who are studying from me, they're trying to do too much of their own thing and they're getting too crazy and artistic with the gematria. You just got to look at the numbers that were there. This was an easy game to read. Cowboys over Bears. Look at this. The Cowboys were going for Jason Garrett, the coach of the Cowboys, was going for his 47th win all time in Arlington. He had 46 wins coming into this game. He had 90 games played coming into this. So this was his 91st game and his 47th win over the Bears. Chicago equals 46. He was going for win number 47 in Arlington, where they play, this special number. And it was going to be their 91st game. When you read things this clearly, you can see that the team is scripted. You can see why the team is scripted in the ritual. In this case, you could see that the Chicago Bears were meant to get ate up as Jason Garrett's 47th win in his 91st game. You see this? Got the 47th win in the 91st game against the Chicago Bears, which equals 91 in gematria. If you sum 1 through 13, it also totals 91. Dallas equals 13, Dallas Cowboys. Also, this game came 58 days after Dak Bryant's birthday, and Dak Bryant has 58 birth numerology, Freemasonry 58. This game, a clear read for the Cowboys over the Bears. Plus, the Bears aren't looking so good this season. Now, this game, it surprised me a little bit. I said that there was a narrative for the Falcons to win, but so much 94 lined up with the Saints that I thought the Saints would win this game against the Falcons. I pointed out before the game that if the Saints lost on Monday Night Football to close out Week 3, home teams would be 9-7 for the second week in a row. 97th season of the NFL. Well, look at this. The final score was 45-32, and I told people in the game to look out for the number 45. The Saints lost by 13 points. When you write out 13, it sums to 45. When you write out Drew Brees, it sums to 45. When you write out New Orleans, it sums to 45. Drew Brees and New Orleans lost by 13. Notice the game summed to 77 points. Matt Ryan got his 77th career win in this game. And what I pointed out about Matt Ryan was the game was on the day that leaves 96 days left in the year. This was the Monday night game. The Sunday night games left 97 days left in the year. The Monday night game, 96 days left in the year. Matt Ryan's nickname is Matty Ice, which equals 96 and 33. Freemason 96. Monday Night Football 33. Matty Ice took the win, 77th all time. This was also the night of the first presidential debate. And this might have been part of the 77 tribute. Washington, D.C. is on the 77th meridian, known as the American Meridian. The Pentagon's 77 feet tall there. The War Department, the NFL used for military propaganda every week. Selling U.S. lies, selling military commercials. Big part of the reason the NFL's here, to indoctrinate men into lies, to make them sell out to things that are not for them, such as the U.S. military. Anyway, this week Drew Brees travels to the Chargers, San Diego, his original team, where he's an underdog. San Diego Chargers equals 99, 13-99, Drew Brees 99. If the Chargers get upset by the Saints, both teams will be 1-3, a lot like 13. Pretty sure the Saints win today, week 4 at the Chargers. And on my blog, I documented a lot of interesting things about this game. The running back for the Falcons who had 3 touchdowns, he scored the points that made it 52 in the game. His name gematria was 52. He's born on the 106th day of the year. The word prophecy is 52. The small way, 106 the big way. Drew Brees became 10-6 against Matt Ryan, a lot like 106. You had number 45 on the Falcons with the pick 6, plus a whole lot more. I documented a lot of things on my blog, the way it was all synced up. Matt Ryan had 137 passing yards at the half, the 33rd prime number on Monday Night Football. Matty Ice, the former player for the Falcons, died at age 77 just before the game. Falcons fans probably heard that news. Think about that. Before the game, former Falcon dies at age 77. Matt Ryan gets his 77th win in the game, summing to 77 points. 7 times 7 is 49. I said the game was a tribute to the death of Will Smith. Will Smith, who died on 4/9, April 9th. Can't emphasize it enough, Truth Seeker. The league is scripted. The league is sick. It's ritualistic. It has ritual murder. All of you who support these leagues with your money, your time, your energy, you are really giving your money to the future killing of the next athlete. A young man, an older man. Every week when you pay attention, there are ritual sacrifices for these sports games. It's sick. And if you want to call yourself a fan and support it, that's what you're a fan of. You're a fan of ritual murder. You're a fan of rigged sports. You're a fan of stuff that is horrible. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.